All right, it is 4 p.m. here in Finland, so let's get started with today's session. Welcome everyone to today's webinar that's going to focus on the brand new feature here at Firstbeat called Wellness Factors. And during the session, you're going to find out exactly what are wellness factors and how they will help your work as a coach. I'm Tiina Hoffman, Master Trainer at Firstbeat, and it's my pleasure to be joined by two of my colleagues here today who are going to be doing the presentation. Markus Ramstedt, our COO, is going to start by introducing Firstbeat Live as a professional solution, because we do have a lot of new listeners online today and we want to make sure they get some background of the method in general. And then Firstbeat's Head of Physiological Research, Tero Myllymäki, is going to come and focus on the new Wellness Factors feature and what it's based on and what are the benefits that you as a coach will get from them. During the webinar, you can write questions in the Q&A box and we'll discuss them at the end of the session. The webinar is going to last about 45 minutes or no more than 45 minutes, and you will get the recording tomorrow in our thank you email. So a warm welcome to everyone from wherever you are joining, and welcome Markus, you can take it from here.
Thanks, Tiina. So, very briefly about Firstbeat and our background. So, Firstbeat is a pioneer in physiological measurements with over 20 years of experience in the field. And we are really proud of our heritage in the research and science community, and our methodology has been validated by thousands of laboratory tests, millions of measurements, and over 300 scientific publications. So the science behind what we do is very, very robust and something that we are truly proud of. We cater for the professional market, so we target professionals that want to be the best they can be and provide the best results possible for their clients. We serve two main markets. One is elite sports, where our clients include Serie A winners, Champions League winners, NHL winners, Premier League winners, and so on. So the top of the top of elite sports, especially team sports. And then in addition to that, we do a lot of work with wellness, health and well-being service providers, and we have over 2,000 health and well-being professionals using Firstbeat Live in over 70 countries, with over 300,000 assessments done and well over 1 million days measured. So we want, and what's common with these two segments is that we want to help people reach their best performance with science-backed confidence. That's what we are about. And in well-being services, our view is that precision always beats presumption. So why guess when you have the option of measuring and knowing? And I like the analogy of well-being journeys as real journeys. So if you are in a foreign city and you need to get somewhere, it's really tricky if you don't know your starting point and you have no way of knowing along the way where you are. So I like to think of physiological measurements as like a GPS for your well-being journey. So you have up-to-date information on where you are. If there's roadblocks on the way, like you might find in the city, I think the well-being journey equivalent could be a new role in your work, in your job, something happens in your relationship or something like that, that impacts your resources to cope with life. We get the measured data for that. So you can adjust your training, your service based on the resources your customers have at their disposal. So That's really crucial, and you can avoid the pitfalls in the wellness journey and reach goals in a very consistent manner by knowing where you are. And you as well-being professionals deserve more than just smooth graphs out of an app. Of course, physiology can be measured in multiple ways, like with consumer wearables, but our thinking is that to really provide professional grade well-being services, you deserve accurate data to base your service on. And that's why we have chosen a clinically validated, high accuracy ECG-based sensor. It's a lightweight sensor weighing 20 grams that you attach with 2 electrodes on your chest. And it gives beat by beat, second by second data on your stress, recovery, and activity. And of course, it's not just about the accuracy of the data or the measurement, it's also what you do with that data. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we have 20 years of experience of algorithm development validated by hundreds of scientific studies. So you know that we have the algorithm know-how that we can provide results that truly matter, are accurate, and form a basis for your decision making. And also, how do we represent that data? It's not just about looking at the results from a watch, but we provide specialized reporting, risk assessments, and so on that are truly tailored to well-being services, so that you can take full advantage of the measurement, the analytics as part of your services. So not tailored for the individual, always tailored for the professional. And as we have these 3 key components, we're able to provide you with reliable and accurate results that you can base your decision making on, so that you can deliver impactful services. That's our whole goal. And then what the actual components of the service then are. So we have a professional portal where you can manage your customers and follow their progress in the measurements, access their results, run reports, and so on. So you have a centralized view of all your customers, even if you have very many. We have the Firstbeat Live end user app that your end customers use to make measurements, see their results, and also see their real-time view to their stress, recovery, sleep, and activity. And finally, of course, the Bodyguard 3 sensor, which provides accurate and easy to use physiological measurements. 0 buttons, just put it on and start the measurement from the app, and that's it. So very, very easy to use and optimized for professional workflows. And now we're taking things even further with wellness factors, providing impactful insights with ease. And our research director, Tero, will tell you more about this groundbreaking feature.
Thank you, Markus, and hello everyone from my side also. So next I will go more to the sort of the physiology side and also to presenting the new feature that we have just launched. And here we have sort of the starting point of much of the analysis that we do, and this graph here is, I think, the graph that we are the most famous for, and it's representing the dynamic situation in the one person's life based on heart rate and heart rate variability. We detect how the body is responding to different activities that the person is doing during the day. And here stress is presented as a red color, and then recovery, relaxation on green, and physical activity and the impacts of physical activity and exercising on blue color. So here we can see that it's possible to very accurately know what is the status in the body during different kind of situations, and to utilize this sort of data to sort of start learning about the body and the body's responses to different situations, and how people are doing and coping with the stress, what is the intensity of stress, and if they are able to relax and calm down to keep the well-being in balance. And if we want to provide, and if you as a professionals want to provide like a truly personalized coaching that is based on the data, there is the need to sort of understand the person's status. So what's going on in the person's life, and this way, using the data and understanding the situation of the person's status, it's possible to really achieve targets and goals of the coaching, and also to select the correct actions for different kind of people. We are all individuals, different. We have different kind of days. Different things are affecting our bodies. There are many aspects, for example, the relaxation and rest, recovery. What is our stress balance? How intensive the stress is? What are our resources to cope with the stress? How do we sleep? What are sleep habits and behaviors? How much we do physical activity, and what is the impact of physical activity and exercising, and also how fitness is affecting the way we move, and what is suitable and appropriate for our fitness levels. There might be wellness-related and health-related risk factors. Workload is affecting us, and also we as a persons, we are affected by our thoughts and feelings, how we evaluate our own situation and perceive things. So that also matters if we sort of think about the whole completeness of our well-being. And in order to really provide data-driven, tailored coaching, we need to know the status. Otherwise, it would be just giving some general advices for the people that we know. Truly, like a personal coaching needs data and understanding of the status. But how do we know the status of the person? We provide tools for that, but even for the most experienced professionals, it can be quite tricky to utilize the physiological data, because there are different kind of days, the bodies are responding differently, and things change. So even if we have some scoring for stress and recovery, our sleep, our physical activity, it can be quite difficult to know what are the real and concrete actions that we could try or change in our life in order to feel better, have better well-being. And especially with the devices, if you collect a lot of data or more data means that you will have a lot more data, but it might be that it's not easier the more you get data. And this same phenomena applies also for the consumer devices, that if you have many measured days, how do you really know what's going on in the person's life, and what are the targets or the teams that you select for your coaching, and how do you affect your clients to reach their goals? And this also means that you need to know the status. but it can take quite a lot of work. It can be quite sort of labor heavy to go through all the results from your client. If you think about one day, for example, there can be like 25 things to check from the data: the stress, the sleep, recovery, when does it happen, is there physical activity or not, how the person is feeling, and things like that. So you might have 25 things to check from one day only. And if the client is, for example, making a 4-day measurement, it can accumulate 100 things that you need to check from the data in order to know the status of this person. And especially if you have groups, for example, a group of 20 participants, it can generate 2,000 things to check from the data. So it's a huge amount of work that you need to do in order to make the correct interpretation of the data. And this is something that we see as a sort of a challenge in the utilization of physiological data in coaching. And this is something that we want to change with this new wellness factors report. So making this utilization of physiological data much easier than it is currently. And that's why we have launched this new feature. It will provide professional users a clear overview of the client's well-being and highlight the wellness risks, strengths, and areas for improvement, and do this automatically based on the data. And we strongly believe that this is going to be significantly faster, easier, and more efficient way of working with the physiological data. So giving professionals the tools to very easily identify the sort of the positive aspects of well-being, health behaviors, but also the risk factors or something that could be improved in the person's life. And one very important thing is also that we want to help our users, our professional users, to communicate the most important results to the clients more easier than it's currently. So if we talk about scores, it can be that people are not very sort of it's quite difficult to know if the scoring is, for example, 30 out of 100 or 65 out of 100, that what it actually means in like a concrete day-to-day activities and actions that people are taking. So we want to change this and to help our professional users to communicate the results to the clients much more easier than currently. One aspect is that there is always something to improve, even for those who do very well and who have like their behaviors and wellness, health-related behaviors and lifestyles sort of in order. This new reporting will for those also to provide something that they can improve. So there is always something to improve, so that you can, as a professional users, always provide value for your clients. And as we know, as we define the risks, the strengths, and the sort of the improvement areas more efficiently, it will allow to help in planning the concrete next steps. So how do you proceed with the client relationship? What are the next steps that you can test and try with that client? This will become much more easier with this new wellness factors reporting. Then what's this wellness factors reporting all about? What is like the concrete thing that you will get? It's a checklist. It includes 25 different kind of wellness factors, and we have selected factors that have predictive power in health and wellness related research. So science-based central aspects of well-being and lifestyles related to different topics like stress and recovery, sleep, physical activity, aerobic fitness level, subjective feelings, also work-related matters, and autonomic nervous system, things like that. And every one of those wellness factors is evaluated based on what is their impact on the person's well-being and health. For example, related to sleep, we have the sleep duration, sleep quality, sleep rhythm, time of going to bed, and whether the person is able to start recovering during the early sleep. Factors like this. And these are categorized. So we give the feedback of whether this factor has positive, neutral, or slightly negative or negative impact to the person's health and well-being. We use color coding for this. So green, orange, and red color coding, and we lift up the most important findings from these as a key findings to the report. So very easy to utilize the data as you. It's sort of ready-made for you. You can see what are the key findings and what are the areas that you can share, what are the positive things, strengths there, and what are something that the person could improve in her lifestyles. This analysis is based on the recent data, so 3 to 6 last measured days, and as said, it focuses on different very central and important matters or factors in the client's health behaviors and lifestyles. And this reporting will be available only for the professional users of Firstbeat Live, so this won't be found in the end user's mobile application, but this is truly to make the coach or the professional user a superhero with the data, utilization of physiological data becoming much more easier with this reporting. And we also have there like a question mark on the screen. You can see we have there examples or explanations of why these factors are important, what is like the scientific basis that we have selected them, and also we provide their information regarding how the different kind of interpretation of whether the impact was positive, neutral, or negative was given. So you can be the master of the data. Here I have the example of what does it then mean that we have the positive, neutral, slightly negative, and negative impact. So every one of these wellness factors are evaluated based on the impact of them on the person's well-being and health. And if the result is positive, so having this green card, the results are good or very good results, or behaviors have been detected from many or most of the measurement days. And this is something that we want to emphasize, that this kind of results can be, it's a good target to keep doing like that. Neutral impact then becomes when the wellness factor result is sort of at the intermediate level, or the results change from day to day, and those are something that could be improved. So there is room for improvement on that factor. Then if we think about the negative, slightly negative impact, those results or behaviors are sort of suboptimal for this person. And based on scientific research, we know that there can be things like sleeping too little, or very high stress levels constantly, or not doing much physical activity on any day, and things like that. So we can indicate that these are having negative impact on the person's well-being, and especially if the result is on the red, so having the worst category here, it's a sign that this is something that you definitely would like to focus on and try to change this if possible. here I have examples that what does it mean that we go beyond scores. So not indicating or communicating with the clients by utilization of some scores or numbers, but really to utilize or use language that people can understand. So communicating with the real and concrete matters and behaviors that people understand. For example, here we have on the left, good stress balance, day and night, indicating good resilience. It's a good feedback to give to the people that, or the person, that you are doing fine. Then in the middle, you might have some card that exercising often close to bedtime. It means that there can be some behavior that's not probably optimal for your sleep, for example. It can have a disturbing impact on your sleep. So this might be something that you can focus on to try to change this behavior somehow. Or there might be some even more like a health-related matters that, or overload-related matter that if the person is having high heart rate, for example, all the time, this is something that you can indicate to your client that, hey, let's check this. How can we change this? Or if there is even a need to have some medical consultation or something like that, if the heart rate levels are often or constantly at very high levels. This is my final slide. It's an example of one person who had got these key findings from the results, or the specialist gets this a list of cards. There are many positive aspects, something that can be discussed with the clients that, hey, you are doing really nice in these areas. Let's keep doing like this. But you might have something to consider, that you are always going to bed very late in the evening or in the night. This might not be so good for your health and well-being in the long run. Let's focus our targets on this aspect. And of course, as we all are different individuals, we have different kind of behaviors. Our days are different, but you as a professional can get for each individual tailored list of cards, key findings that you can utilize with your clients. And then by this way, we strongly believe that utilization of physiological data, measured data, will become much more easier and effective in your coaching and in the services that you are offering. So that was my slides, and then I hand over to Markus again. Thank you.
Thanks, Tero. I'll still wrap this up with what we actually mean with the solution being built for professionals from the ground up. So as I mentioned, we provide easy lab accurate measurements. So providing data that you can trust in a way that is convenient for you. And we provide efficient workflows. So easy to track how your customers are getting on. For example, it says that 7 of my customers have finished their measurements in the past week, and I have 5 customers that haven't yet started their first measurement. Also, when you invite customers to the platform, you just enter their email and we'll take care of everything else, from home delivered devices to App Store download links and checking the consents for sharing data and all that. So really built for professional use from the ground up. Tero showed the wellness factors reporting, which is only a part of the reporting that we do. We do comprehensive individual reporting, and in addition to that, we do group reporting as well. Here, for example, a report would be generated with 23 people and 35 measurements, and that would give you an anonymized report that you can use with groups. So very versatile reporting capabilities in the platform. And as you are doing this in a professional capacity, and we understand that we also provide expert support. So you can contact us via chat in the professional portal. We have real people answering your questions, whether it's about using the tools or then more special cases regarding the data and so on. So we are here for you as you run your business. And then finally, it's not just about the technology and how you use that. It's also about providing you with assets to learn and grow. So we have example sales materials, how you could sell this for a corporate group when you start the project. How could you do the kickoff when you want to improve on the results? What kind of tasks you could give your customers? And of course, webinars like this and other learning materials that help you become an even better professional and reach an even higher impact with your customers. So not just about the measurement, but running the whole business from the measurement to reporting, doing efficient coaching, getting support, and being even better in your work. So that was it from me. If you felt that this resonates with you, it's super easy to get started. You can go to our website, hit on the sign up link, or you get an email tomorrow with details on how to get started. I hope you enjoyed me and Tero today, and hope to see you on the platform. How is it, Tina? Do we have any questions?
Thanks, guys, for the presentation. And there's no questions yet in the Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, just write them in the Q&A and I'll pick them out from there. I did have a couple of questions ahead of time. One had to do with previous measurements, because we do have some people online who are already existing Firstbeat partners. And for you guys, we can say that it is unfortunately not possible to have this feature available for your old measurements, but that means that now it's a great time to dig out your Firstbeat Bodyguard and put it on and do a 3-day measurement or maybe a 5-day measurement, and that way you can really test it for yourself. But it's available for all the measurements that were done since the feature was launched last week, but not backwards. I did want to ask Markus, and maybe Tero can comment if you have anything to add to that, I know you worked really, really hard on this feature for the last couple of years with your team, and now it's out, so it's exciting to see how it's going to go and get experiences from people. But why do you felt that it was important to develop this, and how does it help us differentiate sort of from the other actors in the wellness tech field?
Sure. So there are, of course, there are many devices that can measure physiology, but I think that none of them are really geared towards the needs of the professional rather than the individual. And that was our guiding star in developing the feature, that we wanted to create something that you as professionals could use to be super efficient, increase the impact of your services, and integrate the use of physiology in more of your work. So bringing the accuracy, the science-based approach and the integration to your services into a single package that's very easy to use. So that was our main goal when developing the feature.
Great, thank you. Tero, did you have anything to add, or was that a conclusive answer?
That was very conclusive.
All right, good. We did have just a kind of a side note. We had quite a few sort of general questions on very large range of general topics about Firstbeat Live and our data and the method. And I think we are not going to focus on those today. So if you feel like we haven't addressed the question that you have, first, you might want to just visit the website. We have a lot of blogs and recordings from previous webinars there that you might find the answer. But certainly, if you want to find out exactly how to get started or want to learn more, just contact us via the info email that you can see online here, or you can contact any of us as well, and then we'll make sure you get all the information that you need on that. There's a question here. This is an interesting question that person is commenting that they really enjoy the emphasis on health literacy at each level, where the person can really learn about different aspects of their well-being, that this should be a great benefit for professionals. Her question is that, are there any mental health risk indicators based on HRV? And I mean, maybe I'll say a couple of words about that, that it is, anybody who has worked with this kind of data knows that it is difficult to use physiological data to conclusively sort of show that a person is having mental health challenges or mental health risks, for example. There is definite indicators. There is signs that lower heart rate variability is associated with different kinds of, whether they are physical or mental health problems, especially change in a person's data can indicate that. But it is always really important to focus both on sort of the subjective experience of the person and how they are feeling together with the data. That it would be difficult to say that just because a person's result is green and they're getting good numbers, that they are not having mental health problems, or vice versa. It would be quite difficult to say that because data looks a certain way, that means that they are having mental health problems. But used together, the discussion and the subjective experience with the data, I do think we can provide quite a bit of insights into that area as well. Let's see, any other questions from people? Looks like there is here one more. Okay, well, I think since we don't have any questions online right now, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. We had a nice group of people from all around the world joining us today. And as we mentioned in the beginning, you're going to get a sort of a thank you email tomorrow. If you are new to Firstbeat, you will also get an offer for a starter pack, how you can get started as a professional for using this. And then you'll also get a link to the recording. So if you were able to join late or had to leave early, you will be getting the recording afterwards. But thanks, Markus. Thanks, Tero, for the presentation. And thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. And yeah, let's put our devices on and check to see what our own wellness factors are. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.